Howdy, my darling Aquarius. How are you doing today? My name is SimplyVelca, and today we're going to be getting into your weekly tarot reading, Aquarius, for December 2022. Can you believe we're already at the end of this year, darling? But yeah, we're going to get into your weekly tarot reading for December. Ooh, come on, darling. The Six of Wands here. My favorite card in the Minor Arcana, if you couldn't tell. We're getting into your tarot reading, Aquarius, today. So let me know how you enjoy this tarot reading in the comments below, because that's how we keep up with you. As well, darling, when you are taking in your tarot readings, just like when you're looking at your Zodiac astrology, your horoscope, you're checking out more than just your sun sign, your one zodiac sign. Check out your sun, moon, and your rising. All right, that's how these YouTube tarot readings work and are able to really tap into what's going on in your life. All right, because these are just general tarot readings for the zodiac sign, right? So with all that in mind as well, if this does resonate, the best way to support me, Aquarius, is just giving this video a like and subscribe. It helps me out quite a bit, and it's completely free to do. All right, and I really appreciate those who do that extra step, because I know y'all don't have to, Aquarius. All right, so let's just get right into your tarot reading here. Queen of Swords here, and then the Queen of Wands. Fabulous, darling. So let's just get right into this here, because clearly y'all can tell, Aquarius, I really want to unpack, especially with the Six of Wands here, darling. All right, so Six of Wands, Queen of Wands, and Queen of Swords coming in here. This is very interesting to me, Aquarius, because when I see this Queen of Swords, this is technically your energy, because Swords is air energy, right? And you are an air sign, even though you have Aqua at the beginning of your name. And I digress. I'm not going to go into that too much. Anyways, Queen of Swords coming in here. Now, Aquarius, my regulars know I love the Queen of Swords, but when it comes from an imbalanced place, that's where I'm kind of like, ugh. All right. Now, I see this is where you are currently, where it's like you don't like being perceived by humans, darling. All right, you probably are the type of person that's just like, yeah, I'm an introvert to the umpteenth degree, right? It's like maybe you like talking to people, but it's like you get drained really quickly. Like, I don't know, like I really want to just even repeat again, Aquarius, where it's like this idea where it's like you don't really want to be perceived. Right, you kind of just want to be to yourself and just do your own thing. Like you are really the type of person, Aquarius, that just really enjoys their own company, right? That's always a good sign from a person, is when they can handle being by themselves and their own thoughts, by the way. But it's interesting, Aquarius, because it's like while you're sitting over here feeling this way, we have this other energy over here, Aquarius, this Six and Queen of Wands over here, about what it is that you're destined for. Now, so while you're being that Queen of Swords and you're just like, I don't really want to talk to people, quite literally, Aquarius, the Six of Wands is a card of public recognition, where you're being noticed, honey. The spotlight is on you, darling, right? I had to make sure I was pulling this Queen of Wands here. The spotlight is on you, darling, right? There's no question of whether or not you're being seen or not. You're being seen, or if whatever it is you're working on currently, you are going to be seen here. And then the Queen of Wands, it's this message here where it's like the Queen of Wands, in tarot, the original Rider-Waite tarot, Aquarius, the Queen of Wands is the only court card in the Wands that doesn't have the salamander. And the salamander has the symbology of the immunity from fire. So, the King of Wands, the Knight of Wands, they're able to take risks and go out there and not be, and have that immunity of fire. So like they're protected essentially, right? Whereas the Queen of Wands, she doesn't have that protection, but she still goes out there and does what she wants to do, or what she feels called to do, because of her passion, because of that flame there, what inspires her. There can be all those other flames all around her, right? Big or small, but that doesn't matter. The Queen of Wands is only focused in on what she likes to do. But it's also interesting, Aquarius, right? Can we also take note of the fact where it's just like, yes, like, especially depending on what your Queen of Wands is. The Queen of Wands can be the sense of like you're feeling really motivated towards like starting your own business, writing a book, whatever the case is. It is something that it's like very passion related for you personally. And it's something that it's like, it's kind of, the Queen of Wands is that sense of where it's like you're leaving the nest. But I feel like for you, Aquarius, it's not like you necessarily have left the nest yet. It's like, that's where your next step is. As that Queen of Swords, you're sitting there contemplating. You're just like, all right, like, I know this is where I'm currently at, and I'm happy with this situation, but I also acknowledge it's time to get to the business. It's time to tap into the passion, into, that fiery energy there. But it's interesting, Aquarius, because the Queen of Wands is also a queen that doesn't really deal with people. The Queen of Wands is typically, in fact, let me show you in a different tarot deck as well. Like the Queen of Wands is always, Aquarius, accompanied by like an animal. right? So it's like both of your queens there still don't have to deal with people, right? So it's like you definitely are like on like this lone wolf journey. Maybe on some level, Aquarius, like you have been turned off. Well, let me not speak out of pocket there quite yet. But as I'm looking for this Queen of Wands to show you, it doesn't matter. You can just look it up on the Rider Waite. Anyways, here, Aquarius, like it's interesting to me because it's like you're such a reserved individual, but what it is that you're destined for is like a lot of eyes on you. And I think for you, there's this sense of like having to accept that reality, or maybe it's not having to accept that reality, whatever puts you in this Queen of Swords, right? For some of you Aquariuses, it could be you put in that Queen of Swords just because you've been like betrayal after betrayal, or just like, you know, what you have your reasonings, right? But it's almost as if like this inevitable truth for you, Aquarius, where it's just like, you know, at some point in time, you have to be the Queen of Wands. You have to transition to that Queen of Wands. You have to be okay with that spotlight, with that recognition and being perceived by the world. But let's continue on here. Empress energy. It's so interesting. We're getting such powerful feminine energy. Obviously, gender doesn't matter, darling. I personally believe all of us have both masculine and feminine energy in us. That's the whole purpose of yin and yang. Not the whole purpose. Yin and yang gets its own thing, but you know, it's always all about that balance, right? The divine feminine and masculine there. But it's just so interesting to me where it's like all these really empowered cards. And it's not just like empowered where it's like a king or an emperor, right? Where it's just like, I am ego, hear me roar. The queen, like this feminine energy is like this sense of like all three of these archetypes know they're the shit. To be very blunt, they know they are the one. They know they are the moment, Aquarius. They appreciate their own personal beauty, and it's just so interesting to me to have all these connecting links. And I always say with the queen, with the Empress energy, she's the one that is like, she goes through a lot of character building experiences to give birth to her dream, right? My favorite thing about, I always like to say, there's an album from this artist who I can't even like. Her name is Jungle Pussy, but she has an album called what is it? She has an album called Pregnant with Success. That's what it is. Pregnant with Success. And that's what I see the Empress as well. She's a card of fertility. I don't really like going into like actual pregnancies and stuff like that, especially in a general reading. I think that's just very tacky. But you know, pregnant with success. So it's like, as the Emperor for your story, it's like, you know how there's like 3 trimesters in a little literal human birth there. But for the Empress, how she continues progressing with her, what she's carrying, her dream, her goals in life, it goes like life experiences helps develop instead of just time. Does that make sense? So it's like the Empress card deals with a lot of character building experiences, whether that's betrayal, whether that's, you know, just the trials of and tribulations of just living this life, honey, right? It's all those things accumulating to help create something really powerful. All right. So it's almost a sense, Aquarius, where it's like, I would even be saying in your personal experiences, you probably have been dealing with certain things that have turned you off from talking to humans, and you would rather only be around animals, or your spiritual team if you are spiritually practicing, which I'm assuming most people that watch me are. So it's interesting to have this dynamic here, Aquarius, but it's also interesting to me because it's like, I don't feel the need to like chastise you. Right? Hermit energy right afterwards here. Like, I don't feel the need to chastise you, Aquarius, because I feel like you already have this in your awareness of where it's like, I know I'm going to be seen, you know, but it's like, I feel like you have been in this process of just getting ready for this 6 of Wands. I don't even feel like I talked about this too deeply here. The 6 of Wands on its own, if you even Google it, Aquarius, it talks about public recognition, success, fame, and fortune. All right. All those lovely things. So if you, you know, whatever it is that you have been contemplating on doing, it's like you just have there's just like a portion of your journey where you have to just accept that you're going to, as I said beforehand, just going to be perceived there. All right, so we'll just leave that as it is. We're going to tap into what you're manifesting, your social situation, and your oracle. We're going to be doing an oracle reading for you as well at the end of this, Aquarius. So let's get into now for you. Let's get into what it is that you're currently manifesting. And your first card, Aquarius, your first card is the Star. All right, is the Star. Now this is your this is the tarot card that's associated with you. The Star is Aquarian energy, so it's like this is a double whammy of a message, Aquarius, where it's like what it is that you're currently manifesting is like you're for currently manifesting the full experience of being like an Aquarius. Now, what does that mean? I don't know how to really put this in like proper words, but you're gonna have to just go along with me here, Aquarius. But it's this sense of where it's like, let's just say, for example, I can't use that as an example. Anyways, let's just use, for example, Aquarius, where it's like, let's just say you always have identified as an introvert. You don't like talking to people. People have always betrayed you. You've always regretted talking to humans. Animals haven't betrayed you though, right? You know, it's interesting to me where it's like it's like your story up until a certain point where it's just like, yeah, I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert. I'm an introvert. But then the reality is for you, Aquarius, where it's like you're not actually an introvert. You just don't like being around people that you don't know or are not an energetic match for you. And in actuality, when you're around the people that are of your same energetic match, right? I don't like going into high or low vibrations because I believe that's just all coming from a place of ego and what have you. But it's like when you meet the people that, like your people, you're extremely social. Somebody would say you're extroverted, right? And so I feel like for you, with the star energy, it's like you're fully becoming like the fullest version of yourself, rather than taking one or a few facets of yourself and making that your whole identity. You're starting to be more open to the bigger picture of what makes Aquarius Aquarius. You're understanding that you can't take these these few facets of yourself and have that represent the full puzzle, the full picture of who you are and what you are. I don't know why I'm getting like goosebumps, honey. Ooh, girl, I should be a pastor, honey. I'm just like, the Holy Spirit's hitting me, honey. That's how I feel like it is for you. And I'm not saying that you don't know who you are, but I feel like you know, but that's just the human experience. Like we're all like, it doesn't matter what age you are, we're always constantly learning about ourselves and evolving and changing, right? You know, and so I feel like that's really what's happening for you here with that star. Girl, we only pulled one card for what it is that you're manifesting here, and then we pull the world card right after. Major arcana after major arcana, darling. My gosh. All right. And it's like, once you come into this awareness, right, of who you are and what you are meant to do in this lifetime, Aquarius, like, then it's like a period of your life like finally ends, right? Now that you are seeing yourself in a fuller vision of yourself, you're leaving that whole, like, it's like you're leaving a major period of your life to go into this new version of yourself. Does that make sense? Maybe it doesn't, but the world card is the final card in the major arcana, representing the closure of the completion, rather, of the fool's journey to begin a new fool's journey, right? That's why the fool's associated with the number 0. So last card here for this 7 of Cups here, I feel like you're just considering other options. Yeah, overall, Aquarius, you'll notice as you start tapping more and more and getting more and more in tune with yourself, you're going to realize there's just certain things in your life that you always says just like, oh, I never liked this was never for me. You'll start realizing those things were actually for you, or like you actually like those things. It's very much so being like, oh, I don't like vegetables, and then like as you start actually eating vegetables or what have you, you realize you like a lot of vegetables, or you like specific types of vegetables. You get the point. Y'all know I love my analogies, Aquarius, so just go along with it. Now let's take a look at socially what's going on for you. I feel like these cards are calling to me. Three of Cups here with the 2 of Swords here. Now these are both inverted, but I never like to hold cards upside down because y'all don't need to see them being upside down here. So socially for you, Aquarius, and then the 5 of Swords, 2 and the 5 of Swords, and then the 3 of Cups here for you. So there's a couple messages here, Aquarius, all right? Because I feel like you're dealing with 2 different things here. Like I feel like you're in the middle of this, and it's like on one side of you, you're dealing with your friends, and then on the other side, you're dealing with family or work people or work relationships and stuff like that there, right? And so I feel like you're currently at this point in time when it comes to a lot of people in your life, just in general, of where it's just like, I don't know if you're asking like the question of like where you stand with them necessarily, but it is this sense of where it's like there is something on your mind with certain people. So let's unpack this further. What's going on here, Aquarius? What you got going on here? 4 of Wands, Darling, are you having, it's like this sense of where it's like you're questioning if someone is like part of your path or not, right? This is like very much so giving me like this sense, and this could be positive or negative, right? It could be in the positive sense of where you're realizing, be like, oh, is this someone like that I'm like connected to on a soul level? Or this could be the very opposite, Aquarius, where you're just like being like, oh, is this person even good for me? You know? But I feel like that's for you in specific. I would even be going as far as to say, because of what we were talking about beforehand here, I would even go as far as to say, Aquarius, you're evaluating like every relationship in your life. Is that what's happening? You're evaluating every relationship in your life because it's like now that you're becoming more and more of a, excuse me, more and more of a full-bodied person, whatever that means to you, it's like you're doing you're taking inventory, seeing, you're just asking the question. I don't feel like you have like a set answer for one specific thing. You're just observing how the relationships that you have right now, how the dynamic changes, if it changes, now that you're becoming more of a complete version of yourself, Aquarius. Huh. Interesting. Anyways, darling, let's get into your oracle reading now. Your oracle cards, Aquarius. See what's going on here, and then I'll leave you to the rest of your day, darling. All right. So what's going on? We're gonna start with the moon cards here. Y'all got 3 moon oracle cards. Don't tell the other zodiac sign that I'm spoiling you. So your first moon oracle card is embracing the flow of life. All right. In this sense here, Aquarius, I'm going to just relate it to what we were talking about beforehand, where it's just like you're embracing the flow of life, where it's like you're no longer questioning or challenging the universe, where they're trying to take you to a place of where you have a lot of eyes on you. You're on a public platform or something like that. There, it's just like you accept it for what it is. You're just like, all right, it is what it is. If I'm meant to have these type of things, I'm just going to accept it, right? And so, and then the new moon in Cancer, relax. I feel like it's kind of connected, Aquarius, to this as well. Personally, could be wrong though, so I don't really want to go into that too much detail. And then making time for self-love here. So it's interesting, Aquarius, like now I want to even get into the conversation of like, is there like also a part of you that doesn't want to be perceived or didn't want to be perceived, Aquarius, because of how you saw yourself? I don't know. We'll just leave it there, darling. Some food for thought. Now let's get into your final oracle set, your animal oracle card for today, which is the dog spirit. Be loyal to what it is that you love, Aquarius, right? So while you are currently taking inventory about the relationships that you have in your life, I feel like, probably didn't even need to be told this, obviously, but it's like, as you're taking inventory, I feel like you're going to have like a newfound appreciation or respect or love for certain people that have either been able to see all these facets of yourself that you haven't been able to see in yourself quite yet, that you are in this process of doing, or you're appreciating them for, I don't know, there's this like this sense of where it's like, you're really going to start appreciating like the people that are meant for you in your life and really keeping them close. I don't know. Anyways, you also, as a side note, when it comes to numerology, this is the number 1 in numerology, because in numerology, old school numerology anyways, you add up all the numbers to one singular digit unless it's a master number. And in this case, it's the number 1. It's associated with the magician, which my regulars know. I call it the mad scientist, and y'all are my mad scientist energy, Aquarius, right? So the number 1 in numerology, look that up at a later point in time to see what messages that has for you, as well as the magician, because I feel like that's part of your story as well, is the magician. So yeah, that's what I have for you today, Aquarius. So hopefully something in here resonated with you. If it did, give this video a like and subscribe. You know what to do, darling. I don't need to say it. And yeah, I love you so much, and I'll connect to you sometime in the near future, my beautiful Aquarius. Bye, darling.